If you guys didn't know, couple of weekends ago, I think this was first weekend of June, there was some good old DreamHack Dallas action going on. And this is not something that I showed off. I wasn't here, but you'll notice if you scroll down, there's there are a couple of interesting things down here. Not only was there PPT at DreamHack Dallas, there's also PPL, aka Panel de Pon, both having $1,000 prize pools at fucking DreamHack. These are official tournaments with the same amount of prize pools as fucking Halo, Madden, and NBA at fucking DreamHack. There's only one place that this tournament was advertised. I don't even know if they made a tweet about PPL. But let me show you guys this. They just came out of the woodwork like 1 week before this happened, and they're like, hey, there's PPT at fucking DreamHack. And you'll also notice something funny. If you look at the poster logo, they cut the 2 out of PPT2's logo, and they left a couple of pixels in there, which is fucking funny as hell. But yeah, they ran like Summer Ties IRL. They ran a real ass they ran PPT at DreamHack. PPT was at DreamHack, which is something crazy. So, if I try to find the bracket. So this was the bracket. Alright. And yeah, Tony made it out like a fucking bandit, alright? Tony hauled ass in this, I think this is single elimination, 19-player tournament. Fucking made $400 goddamn dollars on first to 3 swap, dude. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, so Tony was like the most experienced player there. Zintai's also fairly decent, but yeah, Tony made fucking $400 fucking dollars. Steve Jobs came back from the dead to play some PPT. Now, what I'm curious about is the PPL bracket. Because whoever won this also made it out like a fucking bandit. And no, the best part about this $1,000 tournament is that there are no VODs. They don't stream these. They just pop these up, they pop up some switches, and they run them. There are no VODs. They don't record the matches, they don't stream them. You had to be there to see this gameplay, which is the most bizarre part about this. They dropped $2,000 on these puzzle games, and they didn't even record them. They didn't do anything, which is so fucking weird, man. Like, I don't get it. But I will say something. The fact that we're getting to a point where these big festivals are, like, putting up thousands of dollars for puzzle games is actually a good sign. Especially if they're willing to invest, like, the same amount that they're putting into certain DreamHack FGC prize pools. Like, I think DreamHack Winter last year had $1,000 starting pots. If they're putting money into PPT and PPL, like, that's a pretty good sign if they keep this up. Now, it's not, they don't have this at Valencia, which is like the premier tournament in Spain, but who knows? Who knows what can happen? It's just shocking news when I saw this. I saw this randomly per chance just scrolling down Twitter and looking at DreamHack accounts because I was interested in some certain DreamHack like Beyond promotions they were doing with TNS, and it was just on their fucking like gold verified Twitter account, and they're like, hey, we have a $1,000 free play tournament for PPT2, and I was like, ooh, damn, that's crazy. Not much you can really say about that, because, like, there's no VODs that we can review or anything. It's just crazy that, like, someone on, like, the DreamHack team just, like, thought about this as, like, hey, let's run PPT2. And it's probably just because the FGC, man. The FGC loves PPT in specific, which is really good to get connections to get any form of Tetris game into these lands, which is pretty crazy. I'm going to tell you guys how DreamHack runs their games on PC. So DreamHack doesn't actually have their own systems. What DreamHack does is DreamHack has a bring your own console pass. And when you buy that, you get access to the entirety of the festival, and you get access to power and Ethernet stations where you can bring in your own machines and use those. So that is how DreamHack works. It's honestly a very smart business model, because it saves them money on renting equipment, and it saves them the burden on renting equipment. and people can use their own rigs. So that's what DreamHack does. I believe you can also rent consoles, but as far as anything that's played on PC, it's people bringing their own laptops or whole rigs, like monitors, keyboards, mice, desktops. That's how DreamHack operates. And it's quite unique. And, like, it's kind of a very unique thing. Like, people show off their PCs. Like, a bunch of PC building people will be there, and it's very interesting. I've never been to a DreamHack. Someone who I used to know and mod for on Twitch went to DreamHack Dallas was to give, like, a panel about, like, mental and coaching and stuff, like sports coaching, which is really interesting. And I heard some stuff from him. He really enjoyed that DreamHack. But yeah, they have great security. DreamHack is like the gold standard for gaming tournaments, honestly. I wouldn't even think about Smash or like FGC majors. Like, DreamHack is the gold standard for like multi-game like gaming festivals. Like, they have their shit buttoned down. Like, they are a big enough deal. They get tens of thousands of attendance. They like law enforcement sits specifically in downtown just because they exist. Like, they are a big deal. So yeah. In terms of the free play area, I think our console provided. It's just the BYOC LAN tournaments are where you have to bring your own systems. Again, I don't know much about DreamHack, but this is too big to not cover. And no one who I talked to about this in the community when I first discovered this, no one who I talked to about this knew this was happening. Nobody knew about this. The tournament was not community funded. ESL paid for it. ESL Face It paid for the prize pool. They paid all $1,000. They propped it up. They also propped up PPL. The same company that runs the biggest CSGO tournaments in the world paid for a PPT2 tournament at one of their largest events of the year. So, I mean, if you don't think 2023 is our year, there you go.